Hello, everyone. Check. So, hello. How is everyone? Hello, Ayub. Hello, Elil. Oh no, I need to wash this shirt again. I thought I got the stain out. Oh no, I guess I didn't. Oh well. So, hello, Lay. Hello, If. Hello, Dahlia. Hello, Lillian. Hello, Paul. Hello, Heidi. And Eric. Hello, Jamie. Good morning, Miguel. How are you, my friend? You're going to work. Well, then you can watch this one later on YouTube after work. How's your new year going, Miguel? Have I ever considered paying for a lifetime VIP? I have. But I haven't done it. I've thought about it though, because I have been on the app for a long time. I guess I'm kind of hoping at some point in time they'll just give it to me. They should. I mean, come on. But whatever. You know, in a perfect world, they would reward certain people for certain things. You know. I think if you have been on this app for more than 10 years and you haven't gotten kicked out ever, they should give you a free VIP. If you've been on the app for more than 10 years and you haven't ever gotten in trouble, then you should get a free VIP lifetime membership. It's pretty cold in New Orleans today, Miguel. It was minus 16 C here in Cincinnati, which is what, 4 Celsius this morning? Or 4 Fahrenheit. Sorry, 4 Fahrenheit. Yeah, but minus 16 Celsius. Very cold. Hello, Dana. Good to see you. Thank you. It's your 9th year? Well, good for you, Eric. Then you're close to me. You're one of the long timers, the old OGs. We call you an OG. Original gangster. OG. Thank you, Satam. Hello. Let's keep it up. Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for your questions. If you would like to ask me questions about English, now is your chance. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. If you want to chat with me, you can chat with me. If you want to ask me questions about English, that would be the best thing you can do. I am an English teacher. So take advantage. You have a question about the IELTS exam. Okay, what's your question? Ooh, you have it in a few days. I always love it when people ask me about a test they're taking in a few days. Okay, so what do you want me to do to help you in a few days? You know, it's a little bit late, right, to be asking for help? Flavia, I live far away from California, number one. Number two, California is a big state that's very diverse in climate. So it does get cold in the upper north part of California in the winter. But in the southern middle section of California, they don't really get snow, I don't think. And they get high winds, and it's very dry and not very rainy, so that means that it's perfect for fires. Yeah. Hello, Safe. About speaking. What about speaking? Satam, what's your question about speaking? Yeah, right. Miriam says we can pray in a few days. That's really about all you can really do. There's not a lot you can do to prepare in only a few days. There's not much I can do to help you in only a few days. I wish that were not the case, but it is, you know. When people ask me about the IELTS test, I tell them they should prepare 6 months to a year in advance. Okay, 6 months to a year. You really need a good amount of time to prepare for that test properly. Okay? Anne teaches Chinese. Well, Mark teaches English. Ni hao, An Lao Shi. 很高兴认识你。欢迎光临。Teacher, you want my opinion on what's the most important skill that you can do the most to get improvement as fast as you can? Safe, you've been watching me a while, so I think you should know my answer. My answer is the number one most important thing to do to make sure your language improves quickly and practically is learn how to think in English and focus on thinking in English. The stronger your ability to think in English will be, the stronger your ability to speak, read, write, and listen will be. So then that's my answer. Focus on building your thinking more and more and more. Thank you, Anne. The topic, dirty, is English. If you have questions about English, then ask me. If you want to come talk to me, that's fine too. But I prefer to talk to people who actually have something to talk about. Okay? Teacher, give tips for IELTS. Okay, here's my tip for the IELTS. Are you ready for my tip for the IELTS? Don't fail. If you want to prepare for the IELTS test, you need 6 months to a year to prepare. If you want to prepare for the IELTS test, you should get books to help you prepare. There are 3 companies that I like. They are Kaplan, number 1. Kaplan, 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 Kaplan. Can you say it with me? Kaplan, Kaplan, Kaplan. Barron's, Barron, apostrophe S. Barron's, 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 Barron's. And Cambridge, 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 Cambridge. Kaplan, Barron's, Cambridge. Kaplan, Barron's, Cambridge. All 3 companies make great books for studying for the IELTS test. My next piece of advice is focus on your weaknesses. If you're good at speaking but you suck at reading, then you better spend time on reading. If you're good at reading but you suck at speaking, then you better spend time speaking. Okay? Those are my general pieces of advice. Okay? Hello, Avina. Sure, I can put people on the stage today. Yeah. There's a snake in your boot. Ouch. How can you improve your listening? Listen to new materials every day or listen to the same materials every day? Well, that's a good question, Hunter. Both are good for different reasons. Listening to the same person every day, especially if they have a very good voice and if they speak very well, listening to the same voice every day, I think, is very beneficial. I think that that's more important than listening to different voices every day. Because if you find one person that you can understand, then that means you can understand, right? So, Hunter, many people, they tell me, I can understand you, but I can't understand other Americans. Okay, fine. So if you can understand me, then watch me. Listen to me. Follow me. Right? But there is also value in trying to use your ears to listen to many, many different people. Right? So think about it like this, Hunter. Let me think about my answer. One moment. Hold on. I'm formulating my answer. So if you listen to a song and you like a certain song, there are maybe 10 different singers. Maybe there are 100 different singers that sing that song. But maybe there's one that you really like the way they sing it. So focus on listening to their version because that's the one you really like and that's the one you can relate to the best, right? But there's also a lot of value in listening to the other people who do the same song in a different way because they might have a different thing to learn, something that you might also like. So in the same way, when you listen to different speakers, every speaker offers you something different, but I think you should follow the people that you relate to, the people who resonate with you, okay? Between being a teacher, a drummer, and a cook, which do I like best? It's really hard to answer because all 3 are such an important part of me. And they're kind of integrated in my life now. So it's really hard for me to differentiate them. At this stage in my life, I'll say teaching. Teaching, not just English teaching, just teaching. That's my favorite. That's the one I get the most out of. You put a flag of the U.S. in another app and you told them you were an American and they believed you. Could you believe it? Of course I can believe it. You can understand, but you can't talk. You think you're a coward. Well, that's important, Destiny. Learning a language is like learning a martial art, right? If you want to learn karate or taekwondo or jujitsu or, whatever, capoeira, if you want to learn a martial art, that's a fighting skill. You must be willing to fight. If you want to learn how to hit people, then you must be willing to hit people. Destiny. If you want to learn a language, then you must be willing to speak. It's the same thing. How silly is it to learn to dance but never dance? How silly is it to learn to swim but never swim? How silly is it to learn how to speak but never speak? So go speak, Destiny. It's your destiny. Does BBC or ABC News help to improve your English? They can, sure. Hello, Hamid. How do I feel I can speak English fluently? Because the secret of speaking well first is thinking well. One must be able to use their mind. If you can formulate the thoughts in your mind, then you can say them. So, if you want to speak well, I suggest learning how to think well. How did I start using this app? 12 years ago, I got this app when I was starting to learn Chinese. The topic is English. If you have a question about English, then ask me your question. Let's see. Hello, Asadbek. Good to see you again, my friend. What's the difference between second and third conditionals? Okay. Yeah, I get this question a lot. Let me remind myself. Okay, so second conditionals. Those are things that could still happen in the future, but third conditionals describe something that didn't happen. Okay? So if I say, if I were you, I would apply for that job, that's a second conditional. Okay? But if I say, if I had known you were coming, I would have made more food, that's third conditional. So third conditional is talking about something that didn't happen. I didn't know you were coming, so I didn't make any food. If I had known you were coming, I would have made food. Okay? So it's a hypothetical situation that did not happen. Okay? But second conditional is a hypothetical situation that can happen, even if there's a low chance that they will. Okay? All right. Let's see. You don't know how to push yourself to the next level, Lovely says. Well, pushing yourself to the next level involves, one, focusing on your weaknesses. So, Lovely, do you know what you suck at? What are you really bad at? Are you bad at reading? Are you bad at grammar? Are you bad at accent and pronunciation? Are you bad at writing or listening or speaking? Which one is the worst one for you? Figure that out first. Then you need to look at the thing that's terrible, whichever one that is, whichever aspect of language that is, and then figure out how you can make a plan to tackle that, to focus on that, to attack that. Okay? And then push yourself to focus on your weaknesses. That's the number one way to push yourself to the next level, is figure out what your weakness is, come up with a plan, and attack your weakness. Okay? How to think well? Well, read, listen. Listening to people who also speak and think well helps, right? I read a lot. I read a lot of history, a lot of philosophy, a lot of current events, sociology, psychology. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have to make decisions, the more ability you have to decide well. The less knowledge you have, the less potential you have to decide well, to think well. Verma, the topic is just English, okay? Hello, Joseph. Good night, Anne. It's nice to meet you too. One an. Bye bye and baba. Bashaba. Hello, Sayed. Hello, Cassidy. I'm fine. How are you? Which languages do I know? I know English. I also speak Chinese pretty well. Not perfectly, but pretty well. And then Olga, I know a little bit about many, many languages, right? So I studied a little bit of Latin a long time ago, so I know Latin a little bit, just a little. I studied German a long time ago, so I know a bit of German. And Spanish, French, Italian, only a few words in Portuguese, a few words in Japanese, some words in Arabic, a few words in Russian, a few words in Slovak. Okay? Yes, in Portuguese I can say hola, I can say obrigado, I can say feijoada. Is that the one? Well, I'm going to think of the wrong one. Let me think. What is the Brazilian food? Yeah, I was right. Feijoada. Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can say privyet. I can say da, niet, что. До свидания. A few words in Russian, not much. Okay, let's see. Hello, Kareem. Hello, MWG. Can I give you a website for learning English faster? I mean, I can give you a few websites, MWG, but nothing is going to really help you learn faster. It's just, you just have to spend some time and find some good resources. But gamesToLearnEnglish.com. Great website. ESLfast.com. Great website. ESL-lab.com. Great website. Let me think. Anything else? There are a handful of other ones, but start with those. And yes, Alan, I do know a good deal about Brazilian culture, partly because I'm a musician and I love Brazilian music, like bossa nova, you know, Antonio Carlos Jobim and Gilberto and Brazilian capoeira, right? And Japanese culture in the 1900s when many Japanese moved to Brazil. and the influence of Japanese culture there, and Brazilian barbecue. And I love Brazilian barbecue. It's one of my favorite kinds of barbecue. And I know about, samba and carnival and, a little bit about Brazilian culture. Little. Jamie wants me to talk about how to think in English. I will get to that again soon, Jamie. That's a big topic, though, so let me try to answer a few more questions. Hello, Shirin Bahar. Good to see you again. You were busy with work. Good to see you, yeah? Welcome back. How to improve fluency. Forget the word fluency, and then you'll be fine. The biggest problem with the fluency is the word fluency itself. It doesn't exist. Nobody is fluent. I'm not fluent. You're not fluent. Nobody here is fluent. Tell me one person who's fluent. Are you fluent in your language? I challenge you. If you say you are fluent in your language, then I challenge you. Because the definition of fluency means to be able to speak easily about something. So are you fluent in your language? Can you speak about microbiology in your language? Can you tell me about microbiology in great detail? Can you tell me about astrophysics in great detail in your language? Can you tell me about ancient Mesopotamia in your language? So that's why I'm saying the word fluent is kind of a stupid word because it doesn't really exist. How many words do you need to know to be fluent? Is it 9,221 or 9,222? Do you need to know all of the grammar in English, or do you need to just know some of the grammar? Right? So the word fluent is a problem. It doesn't really exist. It's a mythical place. It's a mythical idea. Nobody is truly fluent. So forget the word fluent. Instead of being fluent, okay, here's the problem with fluency. Because you think the word fluent means if I'm fluent, then I'm done and I don't need to study language anymore. I can speak and I don't need to learn anymore. I don't need to try anymore. That never, ever happens. If you want to learn a language, you will learn it forever. There is never a point of stopping when you learn a language. Okay? There's not. It's just like when you learn a musical instrument. You're never finished. You always want to be better. Okay? So, forget about the word fluent. And just keep improving. Okay? All right. Thank you, M. You're nice for saying that. Hello, lady. Do I know any Farsi? Not really, Fatima. No. I can say salam, right? Which is, I believe, the way that you say hello in Iran as compared to assalamu alaikum, right? Which I know you can say also, but I think that's the way to say hello in Iran. And I know about Gorma Sabzi in Iran. I have many, many Iranian followers. I would like to try Brazilian lasagna. I've never had Brazilian lasagna. I know it's influenced by Italian lasagna, but yeah. There's also a strong Italian influence in all of South America, it seems, especially Brazil and I think Argentina, too. You guys have some interesting pizzas, too. Hello, Paul. Your cousin is fluent in hand gestures? That's interesting. How many words do you need to know to speak 90% of English? Well, Alan, the average native speaker knows between, let me refresh my memory. Let's see. The average native English American speaker knows about 20,000 words, right? So I would say that in America, the majority of Americans know somewhere between 10,000 and 35,000 words, right? On the lower side is 10,000, okay? People who don't really care much about communication or speaking or writing or reading, probably closer to 10,000. University professors and people who really like to learn and study and grow, probably closer to 35,000. But there are many, many more words than that in English. How can you speak English quickly and fluently? That's a big question, M. Guys, there is no secret trick to learning anything in life. We respect people who have studied because we know it takes hard work to study. So, if there were some trick to learn quicker, wouldn't everybody be doing it? And if everybody was doing it, then that thing would have no value anymore. People wouldn't respect it anymore because everybody could do it because it was easy. Right? So there is no way to learn anything quickly. You have to put in the work. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, if you want to be a hero, you have to do a hero's work. Okay, let me say that one more time. If you want to be a hero, you have to do a hero's work. You can't just pretend. There are no shortcuts to becoming a hero. Okay? There are no radioactive spiders that are going to bite you. Okay? Or space aliens that are going to change you. Okay? At least not yet. You have to do the work. How can writing in a diary help to improve English? And how to maintain your diary? That's a good question. Rainbow, a diary can help you improve your English because a diary talks about your daily thoughts, your feelings, what you want, what you need, your dreams, your wishes, what happened to you that day. It's very practical. It's a fully dedicated form of expression of you. That's what a diary is. It's dedicated to expressing yourself. So that's why it's a great way to improve your English, because that's what English is. It's a language to express yourself. So if you use a diary and you write in your diary every day, one, you're expressing yourself. You're giving yourself a chance to practice by expressing yourself, an opportunity. Two, diaries, when you write something out, you can see it, and that gives you a chance to look at it to figure out how to make it better. You can't see your words. Once your words are out of your mouth, they're done. There's no improving them anymore after they've come out of your mouth. But words on a paper can be changed. They can be fixed. They can be moved. They can be adjusted. They can be improved. So speaking is like improvising a new song, improvising a melody with your mouth. That's speaking. Writing is composing. You can take time. You can craft it. You can make it better. You can look back at it 10 years later and figure out how you felt differently. Right? So there are many reasons why diary is a great thing. What about traveling to Uzbekistan? I would like to travel to everywhere. Give me money. If I had money, I would. Okay? Hello, Carolina. Good to see you again. Long time no see. Let's see. Okay. Yes. So 20,000 words is about the average. 10,000 is low and 35,000 is high. Okay. Mohammed says, I know 3,000 words. That's a good start. Mohammed, 2 or 3,000 that's where you can start to begin to express yourself simply. Okay. Once you reach the 3,000 to 5,000 level, now you can express yourself better. You feel like you can say more. You feel like you're able to tell people what you need, right? 5,000 to 10,000, once you reach that neighborhood, you should feel pretty confident with yourself. Because at that point, there are some natives that don't speak that well. That's the truth. Okay? Thank you, lady. And Jamie, I forgot about you. Are you still here, Jamie? In China, who wanted me to explain about thinking in English? Have you heard me talk about that before? Jamie, have you seen me before, Jamie? And hello, Mona. Hello, Amin. Hello, Ruslan. Good to see you, my friend. What am I drinking? I'm drinking iced coffee. Yes, Happy New Year, Ruslan. Hopefully. I think that's what we should change, Happy New Year. Every year from this point on, we should say, hopefully Happy New Year. Let's change it, right? We should just change that. No more Happy New Year. Let's add the word hopefully on there. I think it's a good idea at this point in the world. Is it helpful to read books that are higher than our level, like classic novels in English, or it may make us disappointed? Both, Fatima. Reading, I think, should be done in a couple of different ways. I think that you should have 3 kinds of reading if you can. Okay, one kind of reading is reading that's fun, reading for you, something you like. That's just that, something you want to read. I don't care if it's hard or easy, it's something you want to read. Your passion level should be the number one thing driving you. That's one kind of reading, okay? A second kind of reading is, let's call it, let me think of a good word for it. Rudimentary reading. So rudimentary reading, in this case, it's basic. It's not going to challenge you too much, okay? That's important. If you're reading and you have to stop every word to look up a new word, you're not going to read. You're going to quit. You're going to feel frustrated. You're not going to like it, right? So your reading level for most of your reading should be something that you feel not too challenged by. I don't want it to be too easy. You know, it shouldn't be see Spot run. Spot is a good dog. You know, that's too easy. But you should do something that you can read and you don't feel too challenged by, but you are learning a little bit. And then there's the third kind of reading you should do, which is that kind of reading, which is difficult. Yeah, choose a classic novel. Try to read some Shakespeare. Try to read something that's way beyond your level and just see what happens. Okay, that's always a good thing. So you should have 3 forms. One, based on strictly your passion for the topic. I don't care how difficult it is. You know, in America, we have a saying. We say every book is a child's book. Every book is a children's book, if that child can read. So what that means is you shouldn't stop a child If a child picks up a book that's too difficult, you shouldn't stop them and say, you can't read that. It's too hard for you. Let them try. Let them try and see. Maybe they can read a few words. Maybe they're impressed. Maybe they're interested. Maybe they're intrigued. Maybe they're curious. Okay? So one kind of reading should be just passion-based. One kind of reading should be not too challenging, but good practice, right? So that you can do a lot of it. And then one kind of reading should be difficult. Okay. Which grammar book do I recommend? The grammar book I recommend is called Basic English Grammar by Saddleback Publishing. That's the book I like the most. Okay. What does rudimentary mean? Rudimentary means basic. The rudiments of something means the basics of something. Okay? Should we write our diary and check it by ChatGPT? That would be good. Yeah. I mean, be careful of the privacy concerns, right? When you're writing your diary in ChatGPT, there could be some privacy things you want to think about there. But as long as your life is not something that you're worried about keeping private, then sure, you can use ChatGPT and absolutely it will be a good tool. Okay. Hello, DK. Give me a moment, please. Everybody asked that same question. I would like to speak fluently. How can I? You can't. Stop. Okay? Sterling, you want to speak a language. Do the work. Okay? I'm not saying you're not doing the work. What I am saying is that when you ask me a question like that, I know what you want. What you want is a secret trick. You want some shortcut. But there are no shortcuts. Okay? You have to do the work. There are some ways that are better for learning than others, but there are no shortcuts. Okay? You still have to be willing to do the work. But, Sterling, I have about 74,000 followers on Hello Talk, and I promise you they don't watch me because I'm cute. They watch me because I do have good ideas about how to learn language, how to become fluent, right? So watch my YouTube channel. Whoops. Let me fix that. Watch my YouTube channel. Here it is right here. And if you really want to learn, go watch 3 or 4 of my videos on YouTube. They are long. They are long, but if you can watch 3 or 4 of my videos on YouTube, I think probably at least 70% of your answers will be, I'm sorry, 70, my brain is not working today. 70% of your questions will be answered. Not 70% of your answers will be questioned. All right? If you're willing to watch that, then you can learn a lot, okay? You have grammar problems. What's my advice? Maida, my advice about grammar is get the book I recommended before, Basic English Grammar by Saddleback Publishing, and you have to work on it. You have to work on it every day, okay? There's a good website called games2learnenglish.com. 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 That's a good one for practicing grammar. Okay, lots of grammar stuff in there. Okay, and now we want to know how to think in English. All right. I haven't had a chance to post anything on Bilibili Min, 因为现在我就在美国，所以我不可以用 Bilibili， 在这里可以不可以？不行。OK， 可是我觉得我有一个中国的朋友，他可以帮我用 Bilibili 跟抖音跟小红书。OK， 等我一下。Okay. Maybe soon. Okay, let's see. Okay, thinking in English. Should use, okay, I'm going to answer this question for DK really quickly because it's easy. For morning assembly, should you use dismissed or dispersed? You should use dismissed for sure. Disperse is a word that we use it in science and we use it in police. The police use the word disperse. To disperse a crowd means to make a crowd go away, right? Because you don't want them there, right? But we never use that word when we're just talking about children in a morning assembly. Students in a morning assembly. No, you're dismissed. Okay. Okay. Jamie wants to know how to think in English. Rainbow wants to know how to think in English. So I'm going to tell you how to think in English. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. This is how to think in English. Okay. So step 1. There are 4 parts of learning how to think in English. Step 1 is baby English. Okay. So why should you learn how to think in English? Why? Why should you learn how to think in English? Because if you can't think in English, then how can you speak in English well? If you can't think in English, how can you write? If you can't think in English, how can you read or listen? So you must learn how to think in English. Okay? You start with baby English. Okay? Baby English, what does that mean? I mean, what do babies think about? Babies think about how they feel, what they want, what they like, and what they need. That's all babies think about. Okay? I feel tired, I feel happy, I feel hungry, I feel sad. Is that hard to do? Is it hard to think that in English right now? Is it hard to think I'm hungry? Is it hard to think I'm tired? No, that's easy. But you don't do it. Why not? If you have a simple thought, I want you to have all those simple thoughts in English from now on. I want this, I don't want that. I need this, I don't need that. I like this, I don't like that. That's easy. That's simple. That's very easy. Nothing hard about that. So do it. Starting tomorrow, all of your simple thoughts, I want you to use baby English to do them. Use English. I'm hungry in English. I'm tired in English. I'm sad in English. I like this in English. I don't like this in English. I want this. I don't want that in English. Okay? Every day. That's step 1. Baby English. Step 2 is elementary school level English. Okay? Elementary school level English is all about questions. Okay, if you've ever had a kid who's about 6 to 11, right? 5 to 11, 5 to 12, 6 to 12, somewhere in that neighborhood, those kids ask a lot of basic questions. Who's that? What's this? What are we doing? When? Where? Why? How? Kids ask questions. What is that called? Why are we doing this? Who are you? When are we done? So you can ask questions in English in your mind and then try to answer them in your mind. Can you do that? Can you, when you go to the store, can you just look around and say, what is that called? What is that called? What is that called? When does the store open? When does the store close? Where are we? How do you get here? Why do people buy milk? Why do people like this one and not this one? Ask questions. That's level 2. Every day, you should wake up and you should look around. If you're at work, who, what, when, where, why? Questions. If you're at school, who, what, when, where, why? Questions. If you're watching TV, who, what, when, where, why? Questions. If you're at the movies, who, what, when, where, why? Questions. If you're at the restaurant, who, what, when, where, why? Questions. Think about them in your mind and then answer them in your mind. And if you don't know how, write it down. That's your homework. If you don't know how to say something, write it down. That is your homework. Okay? So when I did this with Chinese, I did the same thing with Chinese. And every day I had to look around and say, 这个中文怎么说?这个中文怎么说?这个中文怎么说? How do you say this in Chinese? How do you say that in Chinese? How do you say this in Chinese? 我不知道, 我不知道, 我不知道. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I wrote it down. Okay? That's step 2, elementary level English. Step 3, high school level English. High school level English is what I call identity level English. Identity level English means you can talk about your identity. That means you can talk about your family. You can talk about your friends. You can talk about your hobbies, your interests. You can talk about, where you're from, where you're going, your plans, your travels. You can talk about many things, right? So now I ask you, can you think about your family in English? Can you think about how old is your mom and dad? How old are they? Where are they from? What do they do? What do they like to do for fun? Do you have any brothers and sisters? How old are they? What do they do? Where do they live? Do you have any uncles, aunts? Are you married? Are you single? Do you have any kids? Whatever. Can you think about all of those things in English? Can you have a conversation in your mind in English? Okay? Hobbies. Can you think about your hobbies in English? Could you think about them thoroughly in English? Your dreams, your travels, your past. Can you think about all those things in English? That's level 3, identity level English. Okay, simple topics. It's another way to call it, simple topics. Step 4 is called advanced topics. Step 4 is economics, religion, philosophy, politics, history, science. Those are advanced topics. And that's really, really hard. Most people never get to level 4. So my Chinese is around level 2 or level 3. Right? So I'm good at, I'd say I'm close. I'm in level 3, but I still have a lot of work to do in Chinese. Okay? But I cannot talk about religion or philosophy or politics in Chinese. I'm not that good. Okay? All right. So that's it. Step 1, baby English. Step 2, elementary level English. Step 3, identity level English. Step 4, advanced level English. Okay? You believe I have a resilient personality. How did I develop that? Thank evolution. Resilience is a human quality. We all have it. You have to. Be resilient or die. That's the choices in life. Right? We all go through difficult times. We all go through pain. We all go through troubles. We all go through hard times. And some people use those hard times to try to grow. And some people allow those hard times to prevent them from growing. So you have a choice in life. When hard things happen, you have a choice. You can allow those difficult things to help you grow, or you can allow those difficult things to prevent you from growing. And it's not easy. We always do both. Sometimes we do one, sometimes we do the other. Sometimes we grow, and sometimes we're not ready to grow yet. That's just called being human. And hello, Maria. Good to see you again. How do I stay so consistent? I don't know. There's only one way to fail, and that's if you just stop trying. Okay, if you never get back up, then you failed. But as long as you keep getting back up, you're still there, right? Okay. Let me go back and try to answer a few more questions, then I'll get somebody on the stage, okay? Please be patient. 92 people are here. Legit boy, no. I live very far away from California, so no, I live in Ohio. I'm not affected by the California fires at all. Diana says, I understand English well, but I know many words, but I can't use them when you're speaking. It takes practice. Being good with words is like being a good musician, right? How many times have you played that song, Diana? Right? If I ask you to play a song and you play it one time and you say, well, I can't do it well, you only did it one time. If you do it 1,000 times, now you should be able to do it well. So, Diana, you need to do it more, okay? If you don't have anybody to practice English, you can practice by yourself. Yes, have a conversation with yourself in your mind. Is that good? Yeah, I think that's good. I don't know if it's good, but it could be. It might be good. It could be too expensive, but maybe it's cheap. Why is it so expensive? I don't know. Let's think about that. What's the reason? Have a conversation in your head in English. Okay? You'd like for me to cook brisket noodles now. Give me a good recipe, lady, and maybe I'll try to see if I can do it. Okay, Gazal wants to know how to learn grammar tenses properly. There are, 16 grammar tenses? And yes, they are difficult. I think it's better to consider them statistically, meaning there are certain tenses that are used more often and certain tenses that are used less often. Focus on the ones that we use the more regularly, more commonly, right? Simple tenses are used all the time. Simple present, simple past, simple future, right? Those are used all the time, so you should use them, right? Learn those and focus on those, right? But the ones that are very rarely used, don't spend that much time on those because they're not that useful. And remember, language is not about perfection of grammar. Language is about communicating your ideas. That's it. Okay, and DK, I'm going to try to get you on stage, but I'm also trying to get all these questions answered, okay? So I'll do the best I can. How can you be C1 in English? Abdo, try harder, man. You got to do more. What are you doing? If you want to be C1, you better have a plan. So tell me your plan, and then I'll tell you how to improve it. If you don't have a plan, that's your problem. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for the gifts. Anyone who gives me a gift, thank you. Okay. How can you improve your pronunciation? First, focus on being clear. Clarity should be your number one goal in pronunciation. Not perfection, clarity. Okay? So focus on that. Can I write the website again? I'm not sure which website you mean. Games2learnenglish.com? Okay. I'm trying to catch up with the comments here. I live in Ohio. Hello, Daniel. Huawei is far ahead of what? Okay. I like Apple, man. Sorry. You really don't understand. 为什么？为什么你听不懂我说什么？我觉得你需要试试看。加油. How to speak like a native in just 12 months. Be born here. I hate those questions, everybody. I really do. Come on. What's wrong with you? Why do you think that's how the world works? If you see somebody who tells you that you can learn to speak like a native in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, walk away. They are lying to you. Okay? They are lying to you. Okay? Is it possible to do? Yes, it is possible to do. Is it possible to market it as a skill that everybody could do? No, it's not. There will be a few people in the world who would be able to learn English fluently in 12 months. Okay? So out of 1 million people, 25 of them can learn how to speak like a native in just 12 months. The rest of you have to actually do the work. Okay? Hello, Teacher Mike. Good to see you again, my friend. How are you? Happy New Year. You're not even trying to be funny. People are falling apart over small things. Yeah, but we're also falling apart over big things, too. You know, I mean, you know, the world is definitely in a very, very precarious and, you know, I have that feeling of being in the back of the bus while the bus driver has had a few drinks. That's the feeling I have in life right now. You know, if life were a bus, I feel like the bus driver's had a few drinks and I'm in the back. Yeah. And yes, Mike is right. If you want to learn C1, you have to keep pushing yourself with materials that are slightly above your level. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay? I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay. Abdo. Hello, Abdo. Abdo. There are 91 people here, Abdo. Please don't write your questions 1,000,000 times. That's not going to get my attention. That's just going to annoy me. Okay? So, be patient. I'm doing the best I can to answer as many questions as I can. I only have one thing that really bothers me, and that's people who are not patient. Right? So if you're not patient, you're going to upset me. All right? Don't do that. All right. Let's see.
Hello.
Hello,
Good
DK. How
evening.
are you?
I'm doing well, sir. I have a questions today in morning assembly. I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assembly in charge, sir,
Mm-hmm.
in my school. And today there was a questions put up to me that should I use the word that assembly is dismissed or assembly is dispersed. There is a row between me and my uh, uh, mates over these words, and I explained that he should use the words dismissed, but they were stoic on the using the words dispersed. But actually, I'm a student of science, and I know that what does it mean, because disperse is used for the fruits when the seeds are dispersed out of their seed coats. So what they are not admitting these words, sir. So what should I
Yeah, to
use?
disperse is a word that we use for a couple of things. Usually, it's a scientifically used word. So, for example, the gases dispersed into the room would mean you released some sort of gas and it separated itself into its furthest reaches, right? It tried to spread as far as it could. That's to disperse, to try to spread as far as you can, right? Like you were saying with seeds, you disperse the seeds when you're a farmer. You have seeds, you put them out, you disperse them, right? To disperse, to spread out, right? So it's not correct for two reasons. One, because it's overly formal. It feels weird. If you have a gathering of, you know, a morning announcements or whatever, and you have people to talk to, You don't say disperse. That's weird. That sounds, first of all, that's what the police tell you to do. Okay? If you're in the streets and you're not supposed to be in the streets, if there's a group of people in the streets, let's say there's a group of people and they're angry and they're protesting, the police will come and they will say, you must disperse. So it disperse is a word that's used in a formal sense both for science and for authority. Okay? So that's one reason why it's wrong. Dismissed is the correct word because that's what you're telling people that they can do. They may leave. You're not telling people they may spread out. That's what disperse means. To disperse means to spread out. So, so it definitely does not mean to spread out. You don't want people, you're not telling people, okay, we're finished, spread out now. No, you're telling people we're finished, dismiss, you may leave.
Yes, yeah. But actually, there is another person's with principals saying to me, and I was called in meeting, and I was said use the word disperse in place of dismiss, but I denied, and I totally nullified the words. Even then, he is saying that you are making students learn wrong because this word is not used. Actually, the principal of my school belongs to arts student because he's artist. He has been artist student, and I have to use the words. Dismissed. And another teacher was saying that dismiss is used for the words. Dismiss is used for in the sense that that means that you are fired from job. So dismiss
that is another way to use it, but it's not the most common way. No, the most common way to use dismissed is as a way of telling people with some authority, right? You're a teacher. I dismiss my class when they're finished. I dismiss them. Okay? When I have a classroom, at the end of class, when they ask me, teacher, may we leave? I say, yes, you're dismissed. Okay, so yes, dismissed is absolutely the correct word to use in any school setting where you're telling people, a group of people, that they may leave. That is the correct word. Dispersed is wrong. Go to YouTube. This is on YouTube right now, okay? This is on YouTube right now. So you can go to your office tomorrow and you can show them this video. Hello, my name is Mark. I am an English teacher. I am a native English speaker. I have a lot of experience, and I'm telling you the word dispersed is not the word to use when you're talking about dismissing a group of people. You're telling people they are free to leave. That's dismissed. Dispersed means to spread out.
You're correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm also using another word in place of dismissed. That the prayer meeting is over. Is that also correct?
Yeah. You can say, wait, I'll give you some other choices. You could also say, let me find the right one. You could just say, you may leave, you may go, the meeting is over. Let me find some other ones. One moment. Yeah, those are the ones I would use. That's it. Just, you can just say, you may leave. We're finished now. The meeting has concluded. You may go.
Sir, the word is assembly have a different meaning. The word assembly is in a different way in a meaning. So,
assemble. To assemble means to bring things together. So an assembly is a group of people who are coming together for some reason. So the morning assembly, to assemble means to get together, to put things together.
Yeah.
Okay?
So morning assembly.
Yeah. The morning assembly means everybody comes together, right?
Yeah.
The morning assembly is dismissed, means you may leave now. It's finished.
Yeah, actually, the teacher was saying, student, come to an assembly. I denied that he should use the morning assembly in place of assembly. And he's saying that he is correct. Assembly is correct. But I am saying morning assembly is correct.
Yeah, calling it a morning assembly is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
So
our
this is,
morning assembly. Come to the morning
yeah.
assembly. That's the way to say
Because
it.
assembly have different meanings, like a parliament assembly, legislative assembly, and the morning assembly especially used for for morning prayers in a schools to gather
Okay,
children
right.
in a ground. So we am using morning assembly word in place of assembly.
Yeah, that's fine. There are many kinds of assemblies. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah, morning assembly would be one of them. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Okay. But, DK, I remember my first teaching job, teaching kindergarten, when I was teaching kindergarten 2009. And I remember every morning they had vocabulary words that they would read across the intercom for all the students to hear. And they would say the same word every morning, and they said vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. Every day I would hear vegetables, and I had to go to the principal of the school, and I had to tell them that is not the proper way to pronounce the word. The word is vegetables, vegetables. You don't say vegetables. There's not this j in there. No, vegetables, vegetables
Vegetables,
together. That's it.
vegetables.
But the principal didn't believe me. She didn't believe me. She didn't like the
Gosh.
way that I said it. She preferred the way she said it, so she didn't change. So my point is, sometimes when you work in a school, you might be right and the boss might be wrong, but he's still the boss.
Yeah, and I told my school principal that I'm a teaching. That sorry, I'm getting educations from the world best teacher Mark. Teacher Mark suggest me a lot of words, admirologies, word. I said no, you're wrong because I know that guy. He's not deepest knowledge in the English pronunciations, and there are some words used by him totally wrong pronunciation. One time he's saying onion, but it's not correct. Onion is correct.
Yeah, that's correct. But I will also say though, I will also say that DK language is fluid. Language is personal, which means we have a song in English, DK. We have a song, it's a very old song. You say potato, I say potato. You say tomato, I say tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. It's a very old song from the jazz era, and it just means some people say potato, some people say potato, some people say tomato, some people say tomato. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't really matter. That's okay, right? Some people say comfortable, some people say comfortable.
Yeah.
Fine. There are certain things that are okay. So he says onion. All right, you're right. It's not quite right. It's not quite right. Yours is right. Onion is correct. But on the other hand, that's the way he pronounces it. That's his journey in life. That's the way he pronounces it, right? There are certain people who the way they speak is part of who they are, right? And so what I'm saying is his pronunciation is not necessarily correct, but his pronunciation is clear enough to be understood,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometime I got confused while listening him. So there are some teachers are also confused, and they feel smiling. Look at me. What is saying? Because so actually, a real fact is that my accent has been moved. I'm speaking naturally, like in this way, because I use a lot of words, collect a bunch of words in my diary, put a diary, and wrote. And use the words and I speak a lot of people's, especially native people. So I have changed my accent, but it is my natural accent. But actually, they understand me that I'm speaking deliberately. I'm speaking normally. I wanna, I want accent demonstrations in my school. I'd say no, no, there is no. But actually, there are some words used by them totally wrong, totally wrong. So sometimes they say cannot, sometimes cannot.
Hmm. Well, here's what I will say, DK.
Hmm,
Pick your battles.
hmm.
Do you know what that means? Pick your
Yeah,
battles. That
yes,
means
sir.
that not every fight is worth fighting,
Yes, sir.
right? There are some fights that are worth fighting and some fights that are not. So if you see
Hmm,
somebody who's, saying can not or can't or whatever, maybe that's not worth arguing about because it's not that big of a deal, right? The
hmm.
one you said, I think, is worth arguing about. Disperse versus dismissed. That is a wrong way to describe that word. They are wrong. That's not a difference of opinion. That's not a difference of usage. That is just incorrect. So that one is a good battle to fight. But there are some battles about pronunciation, especially, that are not really worth fighting. So don't worry too much
Yes, sir.
about that.
I,
Focus on
I
bigger
never find it.
things. Focus on
Yes,
bigger
sir.
things.
Yeah.
Okay?
So, sir, what message should I give my student in next assembly morning, because I'm in charge. I'm assembly in charge in my school, and I have to pass this message. Should I use assembly is dismissed, and I will
Yes.
speak
Yes, use
confidently.
dismissed.
Yes, I will
Yes.
speak
Just,
confidently to
yeah.
my student, because I've got the
I
knowledge of
assure
this
you,
word. My
I
teacher,
assure
my
you,
preceptor, teacher
dismissed
Mark.
is the word that every single American teacher uses. Dismissed.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
principal, every teacher, that is the word we use. Dismissed.
Mm,
Okay?
mm.
We use
And
it
sir,
in the army too. In the army, they also say when you're ready, when you're allowed to leave as a soldier, they say you're dismissed. Yeah.
yeah.
DK, I need to let you go because I have a whole bunch of other people here I need to help. But it was good to talk to you again, and good luck with
Okay,
your
sir.
arguments with your
Thank you.
your school, and
Thank you, sir.
just keep working on it. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alejandro. Hello, Alejandro. Hola. Do you have a question, Alejandro, or do you have a problem? I'm now talking to you, Alejandro. You wanted my attention. You have a problem. Okay. What's your problem? Okay. So I have solved your problem for you by removing you from the room. Okay. Yeah, I did. I kicked him out. I was giving him a chance, but no, he's 12. He's a child. So let me go back and make sure I didn't miss any comments and questions. Please be polite. Ashraf, games2learnenglish.com is correct, but there are no spaces. When you write a website, there are no spaces, but yes, that's correct. Prepositions are difficult. You need a lot of practice. Go to games2learnenglish.com. They have a lot of good practice for prepositions there. Okay? Can I show you how to have a conversation with yourself? Jamie, choose a topic, any topic, and then argue about it with yourself. Just choose 2 points of view and argue both of them. It's like playing chess. The greatest chess players in the world, sometimes they don't have somebody to play with. They play by themselves. So they play the white pieces, then they turn the board. They play the black pieces, then they turn the board, then they play the white pieces. Just do that with a conversation. Okay? Yeah, I agree, Mike. That figure does sound a bit high. The 20,000, 35,000 is a bit high, I think. Yeah, you're right. Can I give you recommendations of an English book? That depends on what kind of English book you want. Do you want a book for reading? Do you want a book for grammar? What do you want a book about? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. So many comments. Best way to learn vocabulary. Read, 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 read. That's the number one way to learn vocabulary. Reading. Okay? Also, get a thesaurus. Get a thesaurus. Go to thesaurus.com. Thesaurus.com, thesaurus.com, thesaurus.com. I don't know why the subtitles are not working again. Daniel wants to know, why is my pronunciation so clear, and do I speak this way with my friends? I do make my language a bit more clear when I'm teaching. Yes, Daniel. I purposefully try to be as clear as possible, and I try to speak and enunciate and not speak too quickly. Okay? Yeah. And I try not to use too much difficult language, difficult vocabulary. Right? Okay, Neil, I know you want feedback about your speaking skill, but that's not what I really do, okay? If you have a question, you can ask me a question, but I have too many questions to answer that I can't just talk to people to try to see if they're good, okay? All right, books for you to read. Maruma wants to know. Again, guys, books for you to read. I think the number one most important thing about reading is you should like it. If you can. Reading should be enjoyable as often as possible. So the number one qualification for what you should read is something you want to read. Okay? That's number one. And then there's a lot of choices out there. You know, writing is an art. Some people, maybe you read their book and you don't like it, you know? I remember when I was a boy, I read some Kurt Vonnegut, and I didn't like it at all. I thought it was weird. I couldn't understand it. But then I read it again when I was in my 20s, and I thought, wow, I really like this. Sometimes it takes a while before it hits you the right way. Is English Grammar in Use a good book? Maria, English Grammar in Use is the most popular book for learning grammar in the world. It is a good book. However, it's not my favorite. Okay, Maria? And the reason why is because it is a comprehensive book. It has all the answers. It definitely is good that it has all the answers. But I think sometimes it's confusing, hard to understand, dry, and boring. Confusing, hard to understand, dry, and boring. Those are not good combinations for any book of learning, right? So there's another book I recommend. It is called Basic English Grammar. It's by a company called Saddleback Publishing. Saddleback Publishing, okay? Duolingo is good. What information do you want about the TOEFL? The TOEFL is an English test. That's information. I don't know what you want about it. Are people using the word madman right now? They are. In fact, they are. Yeah. You have a test on Saturday. Can I give you some recommendations? What kind of test is it? Reading books takes a lot of energy, Ramadan says. You're right, it does. So are you... Ramadan, don't take this the wrong way, but are you a wuss? Are you scared of reading? Because it's hard. It is hard. It's hard, but it's also really valuable. Okay? It's really, really valuable. Diamonds are valuable, but they're not easy to get. And the people who are willing to do the work get the value. Right? So books are like diamonds. If you're willing to do the work, you get the value. But if you're not, you won't. Okay? They do take a lot of energy, just like digging a diamond takes a lot of energy. But people don't dig diamonds for nothing. They dig diamonds because they're valuable. Okay? And yes, thank you, Muhammad. That is the name of the book. Thank you for typing it for me. Okay? All right, you're welcome, Maria. Okay, I think I caught up with the comments now, finally. It's hard to catch up with all these comments. Ramadan, would you like to come talk with me for a moment? Do you have a question for me? I'm out of my drink, so I'm just about done here. But let's talk to Ramadan for a minute. Hello, Ramadan. How are you?
Everyone. I'm fine. What about you, teacher Mark?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Are you in England now, or where are you?
No, just my flag England. I'm actually from Iraq,
Oh, okay.
especially in Kurdistan. Do you know about
Okay.
Kurdistan?
Sure, I have lots of Kurdish friends.
Yeah, I'm from there.
Okay. So what can I do for you today? How can I help you?
I have some question. The pronunciation is important or not, generally?
Not. Not. It's not really. Ramadan, if I can understand you, that's all that matters. Okay?
Yeah.
So-
Some people say the pronunciation, if somebody, when speaking with you, understanding what is you say, that's the everything. Beside that, that's just for look attractive to another person.
So I can make a chicken sandwich in America, right? And you can make a chicken sandwich in Iraq, and they might taste different, but they're both still chicken, right?
Yeah.
That's how language is. So what that means is I might say the word this way, and you might say the word that way, but as long as it still tastes like chicken, it's still chicken.
Still
So-
working, still fooling you. When you eating, you feel full.
Yeah, but the point is this. The point is it's not something different. It's still the same. And I can recognize it. So if I eat a chicken sandwich in Iraq, will I know it's chicken? Yes, I will. I'll say, oh, the flavor is different, but it's still chicken. Right? If you eat
Yeah,
a chicken
yes.
sandwich in America, the flavor might be different, but you'll know it's chicken. You'll say, oh, it's chicken. It's chicken. I recognize it. It's chicken. So as long as you can recognize it, it's fine. Okay? We're not looking for perfection. You don't need to make a perfect chicken sandwich just like an American. You just need to make a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay? So what that means is I can understand you when you speak. That's all that matters. Okay, now,
Yeah, of course.
if you speak and I look very confused, like I don't understand you, I'm sorry, man, I can't help you, I don't understand you, that's a problem, right? But
Yeah,
if I
right.
can understand you, then who cares? Now, not everybody agrees with me. There are some people who do believe that accent is really important, right? Especially if you're learning British English. I think they care about the accent a little more than we do. I think maybe Americans are more used to, we're used to thinking about English being a language that has many accents, right? So I speak like this, but if you go to New York City, they speak English differently. If you go to Texas, they speak English differently. If you go to Milwaukee, they speak English differently. If you go to California, they speak English differently. Everybody has a different accent in America, so there are many different accents, right? And we also have people from every country here, right? So I have neighbors from the Middle East. I have neighbors from Asia. I have neighbors from England. I have neighbors from France. I have neighbors from many different places. So that means there are many accents with English, and they're all fine as long as I understand you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, some people say population of New York City speaking very fast. Sometimes the native speakers can't understand them. And that's right.
Well, yeah, that's true. New York City is a very international city. There are many accents in New York City. If you walk down the street in New York City, you will hear English, Chinese, Japanese, French, German, Arabic, Polish. You'll hear many, many, many languages because there are so many different people in New York City. Okay? Yeah. So that's one thing I love about New York City. But yeah, that means that everybody, you're going to meet a lot of people with different accents, right? When you go buy a hot dog on the street, the guy who sells you the hot dog, he might be from Russia. So he has a Russian accent, okay? And when you go to the convenience store to get some soda, the guy in the convenience store might be from India, and he has an Indian accent. And if you go to the market later, the girl working there, she might be from Japan. And so she has a Japanese accent. Nobody cares what your accent is. I go to the post office, my post office here, the girl I usually talk to, she's Indian, and she has a very strong Indian accent. But I don't care because I can understand her. Okay? Yeah. So as long as I can understand, what I tell people is accent is not important as long as you understand. So what that means is you can speak English perfectly well with a Japanese accent, a French accent, a German accent, Iraqi accent, French accent, Spanish accent, Portuguese accent. I don't care what accent you have. I only care if I can understand your words. Okay?
Yeah, and most of people have a problem with the Indian accent.
Yeah, like some accents are a little harder to understand than other accents. But again, I think it just depends on where you're from sometimes too, right? So if you live in New York City, you're definitely used to hearing many, many accents. But where I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's in the Midwest. There are not as many foreign people here. There are some, but not as many. So I can't hear, when I hear English here, it's usually like me. Most people are speaking similarly to me, right? But if you go to Chicago or New York or Los Angeles or Miami, there's going to be many, many different accents. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So nobody cares, Ramadan, as long as you can understand. All right? I speak Chinese, Ramadan, and my Chinese is not perfect, but I don't really care as long as they understand me. Right?
Yeah,
if they can understand me, then I don't care. Right. Yeah. Language is not about perfection. Language is about communication and expression.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay? Yeah. People who are trying to be perfect with language, that's like an ego thing. That's their ego. You know, they want to be better than everybody else. My English is the best. It's better than yours. It's better than yours. It's better than yours. I have the best English of all. That's not the point of language. Language is not about showing off. Language is about making friends. Language is about making connections. Language is about understanding each other. That's what language is about.
Yeah, of course. That's right.
Okay? So, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah. I'm daily using this app for improving my English. Most of the time I'm speaking with Chinese people because they all of the time they need to communicate, and I can tell that Chinese people very communicate and social people because of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Hello Talk is a Chinese app, and
Yeah,
because
I know that. I
Hello
know.
Talk is a Chinese app, I would say at least half of the people on Hello Talk are Chinese. So it's a very, very popular app in China. So you have more people to practice with from China. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chinese people on this app are uh, they're very interested in talking. They want to talk to people. Yeah, so you have plenty of
yeah.
opportunities. So that's good for you. Good for you. But if you came to America tomorrow, you'd be fine. Okay,
Thank you.
if you came to America tomorrow, you could go to the restaurant, order some food. By the way, I have a Kurdish restaurant right in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have a Turkish Kurdish restaurant right up the street, and he has an accent just like you. So nobody cares. Okay, there's a Kurdish guy
yeah.
just up the road. He's selling baba ganoush and hummus and falafel and kebabs, and he sounds like you and he looks like you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. He's from Iraq. He's from the same place as you. He's from Turkish Iraq. You know, the Kurdistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Some
Kurdish
people
area.
of Kurdistan located and living in the Turkish
Right.
place.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like I said, nobody cares. Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
All right.
Thank you for pulling me up on your stage.
You're welcome, my friend.
And nice to meet you,
Yeah, nice to meet you
Teacher
too.
Mark. It was nice talking to you. Have a great night.
All right.
Bye bye.
Take care, my friend. Bye bye. Okay. Let me catch up with the comments here very quickly. Thank you, Arif. Let's see. People in the US usually have geography in school and learn a lot of countries. Kimmy, I wish that were completely true. I have always loved geography. I remember when I bought my first globe, and I still have the globe when I was like 8, 7, 8 years old. And I've always loved geography. So personally, I've always been into it. But I have to say that on the whole, Americans are terrible about geography. The majority of people I know are not very good with a world map. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least in my experience, that's the way I've found it to be. People in America usually won't make fun of your accent, and I would agree with that mostly. I won't say completely. There are people who do make fun of accents here, which is kind of sad, but yeah, I think it's not that common, and I think you shouldn't pay attention to those people, right? British people look down on people's accents from their own country. Some do. I've had this conversation with a few Brits here on Hello Talk, and yeah, there is a certain snobbiness about some British people with the concept of the English language. You will never hear an American say the American accent is the only accent, but you will hear British people say the British accent is the only accent. Yeah. Get a life. Get a life. And you're welcome to steal my things. It would be nice if you gave me a little credit, but you're welcome to use my words as long as you can tell people that you heard them from somebody else. I prefer crediting rather than stealing. Oh, okay. And Iran also has Kurdistan. Yeah, I'm aware of that too. Yeah. Thank you, Butterfly. Okay. I have time for one more person. If you want to raise your hand and come on stage and ask me a question, I have time for one more person. Anyone else? Questions about writing, reading, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation? I think you guys are too focused on pronunciation, to be honest. Viana, you're making a common error in English. You should not say your Y-O-U-R. You should say Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, welcome. Y-O-U-R is to say, this is your hat. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a very common mistake. Many people say that. How can you improve from beginner to advanced? Sharma, you don't improve from beginner to advanced. You improve from beginner to intermediate and then to advanced. So don't try to be advanced. Try to be intermediate. Make a plan, guys. Make a plan. Learning anything is something that requires you to sit down and say, if I want to win this game, how can I win this game? Learning is a game. Consider it a strategic game, learning. And if you want to be the best, then you have to have the best strategy. Okay? You have to have the best strategy. You have to make a strategy. So, I feel like many of you ask how to do something, but you've never thought about it yourself. You haven't yet tried to make your own plan yet. Okay? There are many plans, I don't know what suits me. Well, I don't know you either, so I don't know what suits you either, Maruma. One, focus on your weaknesses. Two, make learning part of your daily life. Make learning a lifestyle. Okay? Three, get every kind of thing to help you learn that you can. Get books, get apps, get videos, get live streams, get podcasts, get teachers, get friends, get tutors, get family. Get anything that you can get to help you learn. Okay? Focus on your weaknesses. Get anything you can get to help you learn. Okay? Make a plan. Those are the things that you should do. All right, nobody else wants to come up and talk to me. Really? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? We still have some people from China. I'm surprised. 你们是夜猫子. You're scared of me? Why be scared of me? Boo. Okay, let's see. Let's talk to Amir. Amir, do you want to come talk to me? Hello, Amir? No? Okay. Oh, well, there's Neil again. I'll try to talk to Neil for a minute and assess his English. Neil, do you want to come talk to me? I'll give you a couple minutes. Hello, Neil. Are you there?
Hello, sir.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Good.
Sir, basically, I'm given many interviews, sir. They told me that your grammar is not good. So they basically I'm completed my engineering, sir, in BTech in electronics and communication engineering. Now I'm going to interview, sir, and they told me that you have not too much grammatical skill. So you just improve your grammar, sir. I don't
For
know,
what
sir,
kind of so what kind of a job are
which
you
level
trying?
I am, sir.
What kind of a job are you trying to get?
Sir, sir, US hiring, sir. US hiring. Like you sit in the
Yes, but are
English sit in
engineering
the like night.
or like like a call center or
Yeah,
engineering
yeah,
or
yeah,
call center.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay,
US call center, US call center.
okay. So
It's a
yes,
night job, sir.
for that kind of a job, you do need pretty good English for many reasons. One, because when you're working in a call center, you're going to talk to a lot of different people. And that means you have some people who have really good English and some people who have very poor English, but you have to understand all of them, right? So to do call center, you do have to have pretty good English. So what I would tell you is if you need to work on your grammar, then get some grammar books and worksheets and start doing it. Grammar is hard, especially English grammar. It's weird. It's more complicated than it needs to be, so it's hard. But if you want to do a call center job, I think two things. One, you should get a grammar book and start working in a grammar book. But I also think that, let me think about my answer one moment. You need to work on your listening a lot. So grammar and listening would be the two things I would work on the most. Okay? There's a website you can go to, esl-lab.com. This website is a website that's designed to help you practice your English listening. They have many, many recorded conversations that you have to listen to, and then you have to answer questions about them. That would probably help you with your listening ability. Then grammar, you should get this book, Basic English Grammar by Saddleback Publishing. Get this book or get English Grammar in Use. English Grammar in Use is probably the most popular book for grammar. And they also have a bunch of workbooks for English Grammar in Use. So that's what I would suggest. You need to focus on your listening with ESL Lab, and you need to focus on your grammar with those two books. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sir. One question, sir. Only one question. Sir, when interviewer tell me that just introduce yourself and tell me about yourself. So I am telling you, I am from. My name is Neil Kamal. I am from Koderma, India. My father is a teacher, high school teacher. My mother is a homemaker, and I am my BTech Neil into. They think that this is a basics thing. Sir.
Neil, I lost you there for just 1 second, but you were introducing yourself to them, and then what did they say?
They say that just add something like you have like low communication skill, like you just sir, I feeling afraid, sir. At that time, I feeling afraid, sir. Actually, sir, my problem is when I'm talking to my country people, I'm feeling afraid. But when I'm talking to like any other people,
yeah, but
people,
that's kind of
like,
normal.
America,
you know, the truth is,
I'm not feeling afraid, sir. But why? I don't know why they judge me too much, sir.
The truth is,
in my country people, sir.
You're right.
My country people.
You're right. Non-natives judge you worse than natives do. Non-natives will judge you harder than natives will.
Yes.
Okay? And yeah, so in India, I've heard this many, many times. I all the time in India. India is probably the worst country for this one problem. There are many there are many non-native speakers there who know English, and they walk around and all they want to do is talk about how your English is not perfect and your grammar is not perfect and just earlier I had a guy on here and that's what he was arguing about. Somebody used the word dispersed and they should have used the word dismissed, and they're arguing about it like it matters. It doesn't matter. It's ego. That's ego. That's all ego. And yeah, so there are many people there who will say, well, your accent is not good enough, but they have an accent too. Or they'll say, your grammar is not good enough, but their grammar is not perfect either. So non-natives are more judgmental than natives. Okay? Mostly.
Yes. Yeah. Sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, I am also in my phone, sir. I have also one app in English speaking app. Like sir, just wait, sir. Like real life speaking, sir. In this app, the people are from Europe. People are from Uzbekistan, Turkestan, Pakistan, from German. So I'm talking to. I'm not feeling afraid. You from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Uh, Also from Brazil,
Yeah.
South America,
Mm-hmm.
Brazil, Colombia. So I'm not feeling afraid, sir. And they also told me, yeah, your way of talking is good, your way of communication is good. But sir, I'm not feeling any type of this
I
type of
know.
people.
Yeah,
These people
I
have
know.
given me respect. These people have given me increased me positive way. But my country people, sir, your grammar is not where you is are like when you tell past present, yeah. But sir, they discourage me, sir. They really, sir,
I
they discourage
understand,
me.
but you have to
Uh,
remember, Neil.
I'm sir also I'm also passed out from international. I'm also passed out from international university, sir. In my university, many are from like Africa and Europe. But sir, I learned. But when after completing my graduation, when I'm come to my like in Indian market, sir, like in Indian interview, sir, when I'm sitting, they told me that your interview and not good, like your grammar is not good, your way of speaking is not good, and my friends, I'm going negative, sir. So I'm fallen down, sir. So
Yeah, I understand. That's normal. I think, to be honest with you, that's normal. Somebody said it seems like learning, like knowledge brings ego. Knowledge does bring ego. The more you learn, the more you feel like you know more than other people. So, for everything that you learn in life, you must also learn how to ground yourself and keep yourself humble, right? So, the thing I like to say is I like to say that once you climb to the top of the mountain, now you can see how far you've never been. So what that means is, yeah, you got to the top of the mountain, good for you. But now that you're at the top of the mountain, you can see just how far how big the world is and how little you really know. So the more you learn, the less you should feel ego. But that's not the way it works for many people. Many people, when they climb the mountain, all they care about is telling people that they climbed the mountain. They want to tell everybody, hey, that mountain, I climbed it. You see that mountain over there? I climbed that mountain. So for some people, when they learn, the more ego they have. For some people, when they learn, the more they feel humble. So, and in academia, in education, this happens a lot. There are people who they have a certain standard and they feel like only they know. They feel like only I know what good English is. Nobody else knows. Only me. But that's ego. You know, that's ego. They're not the decider of what is right and wrong in English. So, you're in a hard position, Neil. But again, there was a guy here earlier, and he had the same problem that you do. Every day he goes to work, and people are arguing with him about what's right and what's wrong in English. And guess what? The funny thing is they're both wrong. So that's what's so funny about it is, you know, you're arguing with somebody who may not be the expert they think they are. Yeah. So when you climb a mountain, that's learning. You're learning when you climb a mountain. But when you get to the top of the mountain, you should feel humble because now you know how much more there is to know. When you learn more, you should feel like, wow, now there's so much more that I don't know about. You should feel humble, not arrogant. But some people, when they climb the mountain, the only thing they want to talk about is the mountain. Yeah. So, Neil, you're doing fine. Just keep working on your grammar, keep working on your listening. And yes, confidence is a problem because you. So, what I would tell you, Neil, is you should talk to more Indian people about English because your problem is talking to Indians. You can talk to Ukrainians, you can talk to Americans, you can talk to Brits, you can talk to French people, but you have a problem when you talk to natives. I'm sorry, when you talk to people from India because you feel more judged by them. So the way for you to get confidence is to do that more,
Yes.
right? If you're afraid of a snake, should you run away from snakes or should you try to touch the snake? You should try to touch the snake. Because if you can touch the snake, then you can conquer your fear, right? So same thing. You should try to talk to more of your professors, talk to more people who you're afraid of. And the more you do that, the more confident you'll get, okay? Don't let them use language to make
Thank you,
you
sir.
feel less,
Thank you, sir.
okay?
Yes.
All right, my friend. Good luck
Thank
to
you, sir.
you. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You encourage me.
You're welcome. Keep working on it. Don't give up. Just keep working on it. You'll get there. Okay? Learning is a journey, and it's a difficult journey, and it's different
Thank
for
you, sir.
everybody. Keep working on it. I'll see you next time. Okay, Neil? Okay. Bye-bye, my friend.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Let's see. What does bear with me mean? Bear with me. To bear means to carry. Sometimes the word bear means to carry. And so to bear with me means to wait and be patient. Be patient, right? So if I say bear with me, it means just wait a minute. I need some time. Please wait. Please be patient. Okay? Okay. Hello, calcium. What does humble mean? Butterfly, humble means to always understand that no matter how good you get, you can always be better. Okay? Humble means no matter how much you know, there's still more to know. Okay? Thank you, Modeste. You can't see or hear anything. I don't know why. Hello, Maria. Hello, Tamara. All right. Okay, let me try Amir one more time. I think he's ready now. Amir, are you able to talk now? And then I do need to go. Hello, Amir.
Hope you are doing very well. Sorry for the first time.
That's okay.
Yeah, my camera. There was a bit of problem with my cameras.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah.
How are you?
Thanks for asking. Been a long day.
Yeah?
But you, yeah.
I'm good. I'm staying inside because it's so cold outside. We've got snow and it's really cold. This morning it was minus 16 C. Really cold.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm staying inside.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the weather? Do you like this type of weather?
I like snow, you know, but I think at this time in my life, I'm just too busy to enjoy it. You know, when I was a kid, I loved playing in the snow. You know, we would go have snowball fights and we would, you know, use a sled to slide down the hills and, you know, we would make forts and stuff, you know, like little houses out of the snow and everything. We would play in the snow all day. It was fun. And sometimes the school would be canceled because we had too much snow. And that was great, you know. But now when I'm an adult, it's just annoying. It's just, you know, it's just work. I have to go out there and shovel the snow and, you know, move the snow and, yeah. So my feelings about snow have changed a little bit the older I've gotten. Yeah.
True, true. Like everyone's mindset is gonna change, like as time goes by.
Sure. Yeah. So Amir, are you in Tehran or where are you?
Actually, I'm living in Amsterdam right now.
Oh,
I
cool.
recently immigrated to the Netherlands. It's been like a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
I've been studying in the University of Amsterdam,
Wow.
studying AI, and yeah, been a, yeah. But nowadays, what I'm trying to do is to just transfer from here to the US. So, but it's really hard, you know. Like
Yeah, I
don't
know.
hard with the procedure of
Yeah, I know. It's really hard. It's stupid, but really hard. Yeah, well, good luck to you. Good luck to you. How do you like it there in the Netherlands? Is it nice?
It's all the time raining cats and dogs. And,
Yeah. But how do you like Europe in general, though? I mean, I just went to Europe for my first time. I just had a vacation there a few months ago. I was there, and I just came back. It was my first time going to Europe. I went to Germany, Poland, and Spain, and I was there for about 3 weeks. And it was great. I loved Europe. I've never been there before, but it was great. So I hope you're enjoying the experience you're having, even with the rain. Yeah.
yeah, I'm used to it nowadays. I cannot nag about it, but the more it like passes, the more time passes, the more you're used to the environment.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, there are a
Yeah.
few places in the United States that are kind of like that too. It rains all the time. If you live in Seattle, Washington, more than three quarters of the year it's raining. You know, like
Oh.
yeah, it's rain almost every day. It's not the best place if you don't like rain. Yeah. So
Yeah.
your English is excellent, Amir. Did you have a problem or a question or anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, definitely. Because recently I've taken 2 exams and like Duolingo and the IELTS exam. However, I'm looking forward to getting a 9 in the IELTS exam. That's my
Ooh.
aim. And I haven't got it so far.
Yeah, nine is hard. That's high. That's
so,
I mean, even native English speakers would have a hard time getting a 9. That's what I tell people about the IELTS test and the TOEFL test. That's so funny to me is if you gave the IELTS test or the TOEFL test to if you chose 100 Americans just randomly off the street and you gave them the TOEFL test, I would say about 95 of them would fail. 95 of them would not do well on the test. 5 of them might know all the answers and give you a good score on the test. But why do I tell you that? I tell you that because I want you to remember that when you study a language, they want you to be at this level. They want you to be way up here when you study a language, okay? But the truth is, to use that language in a country that's a native user of that language, you don't have to be up here. You only need to be about here. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you came to America tomorrow, you'd have no trouble at all. You do not need to pass the IELTS at all. You could come here tomorrow and nobody would know. Everybody would think you've been here forever. Okay? But the average person here, if they took the test, they would not do well. Because you know why? Because language is not about grammar rules. And when I was a boy, I learned about grammar rules. And then I stopped when I was after high school. We don't talk about that stuff anymore after high school. Not really. Maybe a little bit in college. If you're doing some writing, they might talk about grammar a bit. But most people, they stop talking about grammar after they leave school and they never think about it again. We don't walk around thinking about verb tenses and which tense to use, and is this a first conditional or second conditional? We don't think about language that way. We just use it, right? So that's the funny thing about language is if I took a Chinese test, I would fail. I would not do well. But I can speak Chinese and I can talk to people and I can have conversations. So it's a weird thing, right? Because I can't pass a test, but who cares? Because it's not about passing a test. It's about speaking. I also know many, many people from China who can pass all the tests about English, but they can't speak English.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so many people like like getting 30 out of 30 in TOEFL, and also in terms of the like reading, in terms of speaking, not in speaking actually, in reading, writing,
Mm,
and but when it comes to speaking with them,
right.
that's where when they
Right.
cannot
Yeah. Yeah. Almost all my students, more than half my students are Chinese, and it's people who can pass the test. They can write, they can read, they can listen, but they can't speak.
yeah.
Yeah, they can't speak very well at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but again, that's because sometimes the way you look at language, well, learning is not something you do only in school. Learning is something you do in life, right? Learning, unfortunately, we think of learning as something that we only do when we're in school, but you should be learning all the time. You should always be learning outside of school. I did most of my learning after school. After I left school, then I did most of my learning, okay? And language, when you start learning for yourself, you're not learning for a test, you're learning for yourself. Language becomes something that you recognize is about practical usage. If you can get to practical usage, then you can speak. But so many people, they can pass the test, but they have no practical usage. Right? So they know all the rules about grammar. They know the rules better than I know the rules, but they can't speak that well. Yeah. Yeah, because again, we say they lost the plot. That's what we say. That's the idiom. They've lost the plot. That means they're reading a book, but they forgot what the book is about. Right? So you're studying a language, but you forgot what the purpose of language is. The purpose of language is not to be perfect. The purpose of language is to get the ideas that you have here out and let someone understand you. That's it. Right? So, you know, language is not for you. Language is for us.
Exactly, that was it.
Okay? That's the best way to think about it. Language is not for you. That makes it an ego project. Language is for us. So we all can understand each other.
Yeah. You know, the other day, some people used to call me an idiom lover, and because, and also I used to, even like when back then in my home country, they used to be the father of grammar because
You can call yourself a grammarian.
yeah,
Yeah.
Korean, yeah. But like because I really immersed myself and in learning a lot of grammar rules, that even I learned a lot of inversions that I don't use it in my daily basis, because
Right.
like for example, what's the point of saying never have I ever said like,
Right. Yeah. I have never. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. But that's just the language. That's the art of language. You can always say things more than one way. Language is not math. Language is art. Language is not science. Language is art. So I could say yesterday I went to the store, or I could say I went to the store yesterday. You know, they're both the exact same thing. So language, you can't think about language like math. When you think about math, you think about you're looking for one answer. When you think about language, you think about more like art, where you're looking for an answer. You're not looking for the answer. You're looking for an answer, whatever answer you can come up with. And what I tell people is language is like art, because I can't draw a perfect dog, right? If I try to draw a dog that's a perfect dog, that it looks real, no, I can't do that. I suck at art. So, no, I can't do that. But I can draw a simple cartoon of a dog, and you'll look at it and you'll say, "Oh, it's a dog." That's how language is. I can spend time in my head trying to think of the perfect words, or I can just come up with some words that will give you the picture. That's it, right? That's better. So a lot of times people struggle with language because they're focused on trying to paint a perfect picture instead of just sketching. Sketch your words. If you sketch your words, there are so many words in Chinese that I don't know the vocabulary words for, right? So I always use this one example. In Chinese, I don't know the word for atom, A-T-O-M, atom. I don't know that word. It's too difficult for me. But I can describe it in Chinese. And somebody will say, oh, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about atoms, right? So I don't know the word atom, but I can describe atoms and you'll know what I'm talking about. That's language. Language is it's about improvising. You know,
Yeah,
improvise.
Yeah, the other day, I mean, I was talking to a guy. He was using a lot of vocabulary, like out of reading and out of the context that he could find. And I mean, I was pretty sure that if there was a native speaker listening to him, he wouldn't have understood what he was saying, because because there would be so many like old fashioned. For example, I
Yeah.
don't think native speakers usually use very moons ago, because that's an idiom for
That's exactly right. Yeah, many moons ago. Yeah, that would be weird if we said that. You know,
Yeah.
like we use that in writing. Like maybe if we're writing a book. If I'm writing a book and I want it to sound old, then I'll say many moons ago, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, but no, if I use that in daily conversation, can I use it? Yes. Artistically, I'm allowed to. But depending on who's using it, right? In your situation, if someone said many moons ago, that's an ego. That's your ego talking. You're trying to sound impressive. You know, you're
Yeah.
trying to make people go, wow, he said many moons ago, you know. Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, then maybe you don't really understand. And language is like math. It should always be filtered down to its simplest form, right? You can write a very complicated math problem, but sometimes they can be filtered down to a very simple solution, right? So why explain the big problem when you can just give the solution, right? Same thing with language. I could use big words. I know big words, but I very rarely use them. Do you know why? Because I started teaching, I started teaching when I was 18. I started teaching many, many years ago. I started teaching drums when I was a kid, when I was 18 years old. And I had private students, and some of them were 10 years old, and some of them were 20 years old, and some of them were 60 years old, and 70 years old. Some of them had, you know, one problem or another problem. Some of them wanted to learn this. Some of them wanted to learn that. There were many, many different people, right? And when you teach, you learn that everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. You've got to teach people different things. You can't present the same information to everybody the same way, right? And but everybody is trying to get the same place. So it's kind of weird because you're trying to get everybody to the same place, but you have to describe the way there differently to every person, right? Because every person is different. They might be driving down the same road, but you can't describe that road to them all the same way. You have to give them, you know, what they need, right? And the point is just that language...
Sorry to interrupt you.
Go
Sorry
ahead.
to interrupt. Said that I've reached my daily.
Yeah, you're running out of time. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, Amir. But Amir, you should know that all of my Hello Talk live streams are always on YouTube also. So I'm live on YouTube, and YouTube has no time limit. So if you go to my YouTube channel right here, that's my YouTube channel. You guys, you can always go to my YouTube channel if you want to follow my live streams. And every Hello Talk live stream I do is on YouTube live. So it's about 30 seconds delayed, but it's the same thing. It's live. So there's no time limit on YouTube.
True.
So you can join me on Hello Talk and then jump off and go to YouTube and join me on, and then come back to Hello Talk later to use it. I miss you, Amir. It was nice to see you, Amir. Sorry I didn't get to say goodbye officially, but again, there's another Iranian with excellent English. I'm always impressed. Okay, guys, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's time for me to go. It's been 2 hours. Sharma, I run out of something to drink. I'm a little tired. Can we do it another time, Sharma? I've been here for 2 hours and 15 minutes and my mouth is dry. So maybe next time, okay? I'm here often. Okay, so if you follow me, then yeah, you'll see me again. Okay? No, I have never experienced skydiving, Tomas. A friend of mine just did it a few days ago, but I've never done it. I don't think I could. I'm a coward. I don't want to jump out of a plane. I feel like jumping out of a plane is something that's like tempting fate in a way that you just shouldn't do. You know? Deliberately tempting fate. It's not something I regularly try to do. You know? So, anyway, and with my luck, I would be the one guy whose parachute didn't open. So, okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Come back and see me again sometime. There's my YouTube channel. Follow me, follow me, follow me. If you want lessons, send me a message, and I will contact you, and we'll talk about getting lessons. Okay? Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you live. Thank you, Joseph. Take care, guys. Is my YouTube channel monetized, Urdu Cartoon? It is, and yet it's not. I don't know anything about YouTube. I suck at YouTube. I'm not good at monetizing anything because I don't do things for the money. Everything I do in life is a passion project for me. I do things because I love them or believe in them and think they're important. So I'm just terrible at making money. I need to improve. So if you know how to help me, then please tell me. But my YouTube channel is not making me any money as of yet. So anyway, go check it out and see, and you'll find out for yourself how I can improve. Okay? All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Take care. See ya. Sayonara. Au revoir.